guess I can play some. Boom. Okay. What's up, everybody? If you guys are watching the replay, make sure you do a couple of things. First and foremost, check the description. If you're wanting to have an expert build an agency with you, make sure you check the description because we've left a form for you to fill out down there, and basically we'll reach out to you and let you know if this program is the right step for you or if maybe there's some other options out there for you. Outside of that, you can go ahead and skip forward a little further if you like. We're going to do some introduction, stuff like that. I like to say hello to everybody. But, you know, usually you can skip in about 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, and we start the question section of the Q&A. Jason, what's going on? Process, what's up? Trinith, how are you? If the music is too loud, just let me know, and I will adjust the volume. Creation Nation. I like that name, that's cool. With the 8s. Alright, cool. Y'all do me a favor as well. If you're hopping in, just hit the thumbs up button. That helps this channel out a ton when you guys do that for me. So if I've ever been able to help you, or if maybe you're new and you're wanting to learn stuff about marketing and starting your own agency, hit that thumbs up button and we will get started here very shortly. Outside of that, you guys just do me a favor and leave a comment saying your name and a little bit about you and your agency, or just anything about you, period. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even have to be about your agency. Just something about you. And if you like, you can make it about your agency. How long will this offer be up where you can help us build our agency? So we're in the process. We've launched our beta group for it. So that we literally just sent out intake forms to everybody in the beta group. We have one more spot still available in the beta group that, you know, if somebody wants it, you can have it. That is the last spot we're taking. So if you guys are interested in that, you have probably another week or two until that closes. And then once that closes, the beta group, we're going to increase the price to $44.99. So make sure if you want to get in now, you take advantage of the discount deal that you get when you join. All right, let me see here. How's business? Were you able to close the tree guy? Business is going great. Have several leads that we're working on right now as far as the agency is concerned. Done with you agency program going. So everything's going great. The tree service guy, no, we didn't actually end up closing him. He didn't have the budget to do what we were wanting to do. And the budget he did want to spend was not something we want to work with. It ended up being much lower than we originally thought. So that's okay. You win some, you lose some. That's how sales go. Can you please make more videos about outsourcing from A to Z? Would be great. Would greatly appreciate it. Love the content, bro. You're awesome. Roy, we can definitely try to make more outsourcing videos. Do you have anything specifically you're wanting to see? Is it about the hiring process? Is it about what positions you need to hire? What information are you looking about specifically? Because we already have like a ton of outsourcing content out there. So if you haven't seen that, I would say check that out first. Hire My Team Inc. What's up? My name is Jordan. My brand name is called Serial Entrepreneur. God King, what's going on, guys? How are y'all? Did anybody land any deals this week? Did anybody land any meetings? Did you close any deals or land any meetings to go present something to a business this week? Leave that in the comments. Or if you haven't even made it to the point of reaching out to clients yet, what part of your journey are you at? Are you still learning? Are you in the setup process of your agency? What's going on with your agency? Let me see. I need to share this too. There we go. Boy, Facebook's being super fast today. All right, there we go. You're really struggling, Facebook. I get it, though. I mean, I'm just trying to copy and paste some text. They don't even want to load my group. Which, if you guys didn't know, we do have a free group that you guys can always join if you feel like it will benefit you. And in the group, we talk about starting an SMMA and personal branding. There's tons. We have 3,996 members. So we'll be hitting 4,000 members here shortly. But yeah, if you're wanting a place to converse with other marketing agency owners, talk about stories, get experience, learn what to do and what not to do, then that is where you're going to want to look. Hyped today, man. Landed an ongoing consultation deal, did a follow-up proposal, and I've been closing leads at the dealership all week. That's awesome, man. So what's the consultation deal like? Because consulting is great. The only thing I hate about consulting is the fact that you actually have to put in your time. And I'm all about automating things that don't require my actual time to get it done. So if it's worth it, though, you can't turn down good money. You know, if somebody wants to pay you 10 grand a month to consult them, I'm going to take that deal. Debbie, how are you doing? There we go. All right. Finally posted. Jeez, Facebook. I'm just going to close this window. We'll open up a new one because it's taking forever. All right, guys. So whenever you feel ready, go ahead and start typing in any questions that you might have about starting your marketing agency, whether it be with coming up with campaigns, how to pre-qualify customers. And actually, that was a lesson we went over this week in the mentorship program. So, and by the way, if you guys have been thinking about joining our mentorship program, it's our program that's only $10 a month. We have kind of made some adjustments to the program that are really cool in my opinion. So what I'm doing now is I'm hosting Zoom calls instead, which gives you guys the ability to actually ask questions. You can just turn on your mic and ask a question and we can have a quicker conversation rather than in the past we did, a message chat, but that really is more effective if you have like 600 people to 1,000 people on a call, which our group is more close-knit, if you will. So we put it into a Zoom call and it was really interesting, a lot of fun, because the students were able to ask questions instantly as I was going through the training. So if you guys are interested in that, make sure you check out that program. I would like to see the entire flow from start to finish, from following a lead to contact, to deciding what service to provide, to closing the work being done if possible. Okay. That's definitely doable. It's just harder because it means say I go after, let's say I call up 10 businesses, right? And then I land, out of that I get 3 meetings to pitch a proposal, right? That means that if I want to capture one of the versions from start to finish, I have to film all 3 of those versions from, like you said, from lead, or from pre-qualifying and prospecting to a lead, to contacting them and getting the meeting, which means I'm really actually I'm recording 10, because I have to start from the very beginning to narrow it down to those 3. It's just, that would be a huge video project to do. It's possible. So we'll have to work on that one. It would take us some time to put that together, I can tell you that, because again, it's just filming a lot of different steps, and you don't know which, like if I put 10 businesses down, you don't know which ones are going to, you know, that you're going to sell. So you kind of just have to shoot all 10 until you narrow it down to the one that finally does land a deal, or the couple or several that that you land a deal with. But we can definitely try. Basically, I'm training their in-house social media person on content strategy and basic social optimizing and integration. It's definitely a good start. And the other thing is process. Remember, you know, Facebook is a great platform, but if you're not spending on ads and you're not a media company or a media outlet of some kind, then you're probably not going to get a great result from any marketing that you do on those platforms. And the reason why is just because organic reach is dead. So if you try to post, it's really for naught, because no one's going to see the post anyway. So make sure that you have, you know, you can do the training on how to optimize the page and how to create content, which is great, but ultimately they have to know how to run ads. Any business, in my opinion, nowadays, there isn't really a business out there that, you know, outside of the entertainment space or media space, that can run a business page and get results just from posting content. It's very difficult now to do with Facebook, so keep that in mind. Where am I at? How do you get most of your clients? Is it primarily from cold calling? Yep, so we have a couple of systems in place. Obviously, the website driving free traffic from SEO. And then we have some automated processes where I've basically hired a couple of VAs. They do some scraping from businesses online. They put them into the CRM. We have a service that basically does the call, and they do a call, text message, email type of service to reach out to those leads and basically set the appointment. And then internally we go and build out the campaign or the proposal and sell it to them. So that's really our process. Because again, if you can automate the prospecting side of generating customers and the appointment setting side for that first appointment for getting customers, if you can automate those two things and get that off of your plate, it's a lot easier to scale your agency. But if you're the one spending time doing the prospecting and doing the calling to set the appointments or emailing or whatever it is, and you're actually doing the proposals, you know, you don't get as much time pitching proposals, right? So our idea behind scaling sales for the agency is essentially we just want our sales reps to be pitching proposals all day. Like if I could have a sales rep pitching a proposal from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., that's what I would choose to do. Why? Because that means they're constantly trying to close new deals. Well, for them to be able to do that, you have to automate the first two parts, which is where you're pre-qualifying and finding leads. And then the second part, which is setting appointments to go pitch proposals to those leads. Those two steps have to be automated to where the sales rep can just focus on pitching proposals. So that's really what we're focusing on right now, is automating the first two steps. So internally, our sales reps can just be out in the field. Where will or is it? What? I have no clue what that means. Where will or is it? Combat Stacks, what's going on? Jarrell, what's up, man? Appreciate that 3-hour two-part series you put out, starting your SMA. Hey, John, not a problem, man. And if you haven't seen that, you should definitely go check it out. It's a 2-part series we just released on my channel. The first video is about 2 hours long. The second video is about an hour long. And it walks through the step-by-step process and even goes into how to use Facebook, how to use Instagram, how to run marketing campaigns, how to set up your project management software, how to find leads, how to price services. We literally did a full video training that is 2 parts. And the reason we made it 2 parts is because it's 3 hours in total of training. So make sure you head over to the channel and check that out. I promise you'll love it. And if you really love that training, then you should definitely consider checking out DMS 2.0 or checking out our Done With You agency program, where we actually, myself and my team, help build your agency so that way you can get off the ground running and running smoothly in like 2 months, as opposed to the average, which is about 6 to 12 months. And that's the thing. Really, you have to ask yourself, is it worth it to join a program like this and invest in a program like this, so that way by month 2 or 3 you're making 10K a month versus waiting until month 6 or 12 to make 10K a month? And not to mention, you get to avoid a lot of the stress of trying to build processes and find out what types of outsourcing or VAs to hire, what positions you'll need to hire for, how you implement those people into their position, and then give them jobs so that way they can complete campaigns for clients. If you're really looking for something that's going to teach you everything and get it directly from us, that's going to be the best way to do it. And obviously you get training with us. But if you're looking for something where you can just start learning about digital marketing and really getting your feet wet with digital marketing and running the agency, DMS 2.0 is a great starting point. Cool thing about buying the Done With You program is that we actually give you DMS 2.0 included in that purchase. No, it does not fulfill the services, though I am considering doing an option, and I talked to one of my students about it the other day, where we will take on clients for you, and basically you're just going to do account management and sales, and we'll just pay you a commission. So we don't really have a Done With You because I'm not going to manage your business. Doing a Done With You version usually requires some kind of legal agreement where you're basically in business together and you give me part ownership, or we take a percentage off of all the revenue you earn, right? Because that's the only way you can really do a Done With You version. If we're the one building out all the campaigns, that means we're spending the money and the time and purchasing software to make sure you're able to run your agency. So it's not something we're offering yet. We might in the future. But I have been considering white labeling my own agency to other people like you, so that way you can make some money and really not have to worry about fulfilling campaigns. They really want constant posting done because they have insanely great engagement. I'm using the consulting as a foot in the door to sell them my ad services. Okay, well, if they have great engagement, then that's perfect. Really, that's the only thing that holds people back, is the fact that they don't have organic engagement already going. And what is really great? Are we talking about 10 likes a post? Because that's not really great. That's, kind of average, and it's not even really average. How to register the business? Riyadh. I think it's Riyadh. Where are you located? Because it's different. Like in the US, it's different from state to state. If you're outside of the US, it's different from country to country. So it kind of depends on where you are. Creation Nation. So that's a good question. Did I run the business by myself for a while, or did I run it by myself for a while before I put a team together? And the answer to that question is no. I started outsourcing immediately. Because that's the thing, guys. Every time you try to do something yourself, that means it's taking your time. If you want to go out and get more clients, say you get a client for $4,000 a month, right? And that requires you to do SEO, maintain a website, build ad campaigns for PPC, provide reporting and analytics, right? All of that's what's you're giving them for $4,000. All right, if you're the one doing all of that work, it's going to eat up probably, I'd say, at least half of your available work inventory, if not a little more. And what I mean by that is how many hours you have available to work each day. So if you have 8 hours a day, that means you're going to spend 4 hours a day just working on their campaigns and making sure everything's running smoothly, and planning and strategizing and optimizing, all of that, right? So if you want to scale your business, that leaves you with only 4 hours to do all the prospecting, the sales calls, emails, and then actually going and pitching proposals, which is not a lot of time, because that's not even the only business function you have left. You have things like taxes you have to worry about, and accounting, and getting your bank set up properly, and all kinds of, and continued learning, and just so many different things that you have to implement into your business. So it doesn't make sense for you to try and take on everything by yourself. Yes, you will have a foot in some of the marketing strategy and planning in the beginning, and you will be a little more hands-on in the beginning, but once you can, as soon as you can, the best thing to start doing is outsourcing more of the work so you can focus on high-level strategy. You guys have probably heard the saying before, don't work in your business, work on your business, right? If you're working in your business, you're the guy sitting there writing out social media posts. If you're working on the business, you're the CEO planning out workflows and processes and how to reach more customers and ways to be able to planning and goal setting, so that way you're able to basically reach milestones that will get you to the point where you can hire on your first employee or something like that. That's what CEOs do. They're not looking at okay, I need to write a bunch of social media posts. They're looking at, okay, how do I get this from $100,000 a year to $500,000 or $1 million a year? You're looking at the higher level picture, right? And that's where a lot of people mess up. They don't focus on what is really important with a business, and they think that, okay, well, because Ty Lopez told me that I had to go learn how to do this marketing stuff so I can actually do it, that's the only way I can really build this business. When in reality, it's probably smarter for you to learn how it all works, learn how to do it. But really what you're doing is you're building a team of people that work on specific areas of marketing campaigns. You're going to hire experts at each individual task, so that way you're getting the best quality of work, and you can spend time, again, focusing on growing the business instead of working inside of it. Who agrees with that? If you agree with that, leave me a comment in the chat and let me know what you think. How much is the Done With You course? The Done With You program is, the one slot left. There's one left. It's $3,150. And if you look in the description of this video, it'll tell you everything that's included in that program. After the beta group closes and we actually launch the full-on product, then the price goes up to $4,499. So if you are interested, now is the time to get in, because it's the cheapest it will ever get. And obviously, why wait to get your agency making $100,000 plus per year? That's what I don't get, is why wait longer? If you know you're committed to it and you know you want to do it and it makes sense, then get on it. We've got several people that it was crazy really to me when I put it out there, because I figured it would be kind of a cool thing that people would be interested in. I didn't realize the insanity behind the response that we got. It's been really interesting. There's a lot of people out there that they just want someone to help them get it started, and it's not because they're lazy or because they're stupid. It's because this is a difficult task to take on, and really, like every other mentor tells you, learn from someone who's done it before so you can take shortcuts, right? And it's not even that you're taking an unethical shortcut. You're taking a shortcut in the sense that you're not going to make the same mistakes that person made, or at least not as many, because you're able to learn from them. So you should totally not been on this channel in a while now. How are you doing? Joe Licco, I'm doing well. How about you? Where have you been? Have you still been with your agency? You should totally have a white label affiliate program. I know you could sell your services to my clients. Would you break it down by the different services like SEO, PPC, web design? So here's what I would do. If I did do a white labeling program, I'm definitely not going to, because here's the thing, a lot of people don't really, even, in training programs, and this is no offense to you, Process, because, you and I haven't talked, I couldn't gauge your intelligence within the subject matter. So again, this is nothing about you. But I've noticed people don't necessarily always know the best way to sell a campaign, or they don't know the best way to put together a campaign and what all should or should not be included. So I don't think I would be comfortable leaving it up to anybody who is reselling my services to create the strategy, because then they'd come to me and say, hey, I sold this strategy, and I'd be like, that doesn't look like a good idea, and they're going to be pissed when you don't get any results, and then you're going to blame me for not getting results because we didn't go over this and make sure we had the best strategy in mind. So what I would probably do is put together a few different service level packages that you could just take out and resell, and we would give you the types of businesses to basically go after with that package, and businesses to avoid, because we would create it in a way where basically the package will work for a large majority of businesses, but for some businesses, they have a different type of product and service. That style of campaign just wouldn't work, right? Hey, Mom. What's going on? What would you say is the best way to get in front of the business owners who have more money to invest, high-ticket clients? Joel, the best way to do that is to stop going after every business and create a pre-qualification process. Understand what you need to look for in a business for them to be qualified. So the example I always give is people will go after restaurants, right? That's a huge niche that people like to go after in the marketing agency space. And what they don't realize is if you go after a restaurant that's a single location, most single location restaurants can't afford a $2,500, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 per month package because they don't have the profit margin. So, and here's an easy way to simplify that for you. Think about a pizza restaurant. A family of 4 can go in, order a pizza for, let's just say, the high-end pizza, $30 for an extra large pizza, massive pizza. They can probably all 4 get full off that pizza. They get drinks. By the time they're done, 4 people just walked in and spent, let's just say, with tip. And again, the tip money doesn't go to the restaurant, so with tip, like $55, $60 on 4 people. If you look at something like a Longhorn, 4 people going into Longhorn are going to spend upwards of $150, $250, $300, right? Because the price per plate or the average order value per customer is much, much higher than that pizza restaurant because of the fact that pizza is a cheaper food to make. And that means you're going to sell it at a cheaper cost. So that's the thing. It's about understanding how to pre-qualify a business and knowing what to look for, and all businesses are different, right? So if I were to look at an attorney's office, I don't need to look at an attorney and say, well, they need to have 4 to 5 locations if I'm going to work with them. But when you look at that, pizza restaurant, if I'm going to work with a pizza restaurant, I seriously probably would not work with any pizza restaurant that doesn't have at least 4 to 5 locations. Say they came to me and said, yeah, well, we have 2 locations. Okay, well, their price, they better have like mellow mushroom style pricing where, you're walking out of there spending about what you would spend at a Longhorn on pizza because your price is so high, right? So that's the thing. Every industry is different. It's hard to say. I can't tell you exactly how to pre-qualify unless I know what type of business you're looking at. But that's really what it comes down to. Look at the business you're trying, or the niche or industry you're trying to go after, and then learn about the business. Do they have higher profit margins than the average business? Do they have high overheads usually involved with their business? So for example, a restaurant has high overhead because they have a restaurant that they have to, like the actual physical location that they have to pay for. They have utilities that they have to pay for that are pretty expensive, like gas and power, right? So, you have to be able to look at those things and really just make a judgment call. Just because a chiropractor is a doctor doesn't mean they're making enough to afford your services. I just went and talked, my next door neighbor's a chiropractor. We finally got in the door with them. They can't afford $3,000 a month plus $1,500 in ad spend, which is crazy to me because they have a team of like 6 people, but they can't afford on average, it's $3,000 a month for that client plus the $1,500 ad spend. Which, we always separate that out because that doesn't come to me, that's directly on their ads. Which I know, if we bring them several clients, we are going to make that back. So, just because you assume, and that, I guess the point I'm trying to make is don't assume that just because someone has doctor or lawyer or attorney in front of their name or after their name, however it is, that they have all the money in the world. You have to learn how to qualify business. So when you're looking online trying to find businesses to call, that's when you're qualifying them. And you do things like going to their website to see how many employees work at their office, how many locations do they have, does their website look good? is their Facebook page active and Instagram account active? Not saying that because they don't have an Instagram page that they can't afford it. Maybe they just don't have it set up, but their Facebook and website looks good, so it looks like they're actually spending money on their online presence, right? You're using signs and indicators that you see online to basically make a judgment call on whether that business is qualified or not, right? The only other way to really pre-qualify businesses without you manually doing it is to be running ads on something like pay-per-click, via Google, or running Facebook and Instagram ads to business owners. And in that ad, you set up a form that pre-qualifies them for you, right? So you ask questions like, what types of marketing have you done in the past? How much were you spending on those campaigns when you ran them in the past? What is your budget like for a project like this? Asking questions like that, they'll come back and tell you answers which you can then use to qualify or, not worry about people who aren't qualified, right? So if you see someone says, oh, we have $500 to spend per month in that form that you fill out or that they fill out, then that's not a qualified business. So we don't even have to waste time. We can set up an automated email sequence that goes out to people who aren't qualified saying, we're sorry, we only work with clients, with the minimum budget of this. We would love to help you out though. So here's some free content for you that you can go view here. And if your budget does increase to, whatever amount, then we can potentially look at working together in the future. You can make more money, but you can't make more time. Completely right. Do you have any out-of-country clients? I live in Trinidad and Tobago that has a population of 1.4 million. Do you think that $1,000 to boost posts is too much? Facebook says 800,000 users for the country. John, so no, number one, let me say, don't boost posts. You should be on Ads Manager in Business Manager, which is Facebook's business management platform. You should use that to run ads. But $1,000 a month is a solid ad budget. I mean, really, what I recommend to people is a minimum of $1,500 per platform. So, say you want to advertise on Facebook and Instagram, so I would recommend about $3,000 in total ad spend, $1,500 per platform. Ultra, the Zoom was good. I feel so bad though, so I'm gonna have to do like another hour-long session next week, I think. Like that was my last of the makeup sessions. But I think I'm gonna do another hour-long session next week because I didn't record it. So it was my first time doing a Zoom call, forgot to click record. So unfortunately, all the other members in the group didn't get to see that video. But it was only like 3 of us on. But the cool thing was we got to converse. I got to actually hear voices and communicate with people on specific things. Like another cool part was I let the student take over, do a screen share, and then go through the process. So we were talking, and that's what's actually funny. We were just talking about pre-qualifying businesses. That's what we did last week in the training. We do that training a lot because it's very useful to people like you guys. But so he was actually able to share his screen, and then I could look over his shoulder and he would walk through how he was pre-qualifying these businesses, and then I was able to give him feedback and say, no, I wouldn't look at this, I would probably look at this, or I would use this to tell me about this information. It was just a really great experience for him, and it was enlightening because he was able to get some direct feedback from me. So if you guys are looking for a program, like, dude, it's seriously $10 a month. It is the cheapest mentorship program out there. Like, I challenge you to find another mentorship program out there that's as involved as this one and is only $10 a month or less. So again, if you want to see that, go to serialentrepreneur.academy, https serialentrepreneur.academy, and if you click courses at the very top, you will go to digital marketing courses, I believe is the next one under that, or marketing agency program, something like that. And then under that, you'll see mentorship program, DMS 2.0. And I definitely think you guys should check that out if you're wanting to learn more. Don't work in your business, work on your business. Yep. That is a famous, well, I don't want to say famous, but it's definitely a popular quote in the entrepreneurship space or the business world because it's so true. If you want to be that CEO level guy, you have to work on it, not in it. And people lose that mentality along the way. They start taking a training program, so they switch mentality into I'm going to be the worker bee instead of being the CEO. And that's kind of backwards. The whole reason you started taking the program was to not be the worker bee and to be the guy running the show or the girl running the show. So, really think about what you're trying to do when you start up your agency, and really think, am I working on it or am I working in it? And again, in the beginning, you will work in it some, but the goal is to get out of that as quickly as possible. How do you choose the right people for your team? I would imagine that it would be hard to rely on people you haven't worked with. Was it a lot of trial and error until you found the right team? So living as youngs, yes, there was definitely a lot of trial and error, but we also got a lot better at our hiring process. So I will say that if you are wanting to mitigate or to alleviate rather some of the downside of hiring, which is basically finding bad quality work or people that, they charge too much and you need somebody in a better price range, the key is really practice. And before you really practice, after you practice, I was right the first time. Before you practice, you should create a system. The system that we put in place for hiring made it more efficient as far as time is concerned. With my time, it made it to where we got the information that we needed from the person, so that way we knew who we were hiring before we even hired them. We were able to look at samples and get people to do sample work sometimes if we needed them to, so that way we could test their ability. And that's the thing, don't be afraid to test someone's ability. Just because someone says they're an SEO expert doesn't necessarily mean they are. I've worked with plenty of people who didn't know shit about SEO and told me they were an SEO expert. So find a way to test them. That's what they're there for. They're basically in a job interview. When you go to a job interview, you're being tested, right? So test the people that you're trying to hire for your agency. So if you want to make, or not really if you want, is your goal to make over $100,000 or more this year with your agency? If that is your goal, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button right below this video. I want to see how many people are trying to make $100,000 this year, or maybe you're just thinking about studying and doing setup for the first whole year, and then you'll take on year 2 to really launch and get it going strong. Or if you've already left a thumbs up, then leave a comment and tell me what your revenue goals are for this year. Process. Go ahead and shoot me a message sometime tomorrow. Don't worry about doing it tonight. Seriously, I won't be able to get to it tonight. But shoot me a message sometime tomorrow, and I can show you. I have one package I can give you that you can sell. The key is coming up. Most people don't understand the commission payout structure in the agency space, and how it works. They don't really understand residual compound income. So that's something I have to talk with everybody that we would do something like this with. They have to understand how it really works. Because the cool thing is, if you built a sales team around my agency products, which, this is why we got to thinking about it. If you built a sales team and that was your business, right? You just did account management and you had sales reps to sell services, right? And we did the back end stuff. If that's how you set it up, you could actually make a lot of money just building a sales team that sells marketing agency services, and then have a solid back end team, like, for example, us, to facilitate or create and facilitate the campaigns that your clients need. But there's a ton of money in that. And if you don't believe me, it already exists, right? Number one, there's already companies out there that's what they do. They just do sales for marketing agencies. But in just about every other industry as well, there are third-party companies selling other people's products and services and then taking a fat commission check. And then they're building big sales teams that sell that product. That's it. So you could totally, if you didn't want to actually, if you enjoy online marketing and you think the industry is cool and you think that there's potential, right? And you want to be involved in the industry, but you don't want to run marketing campaigns, that's great. That means that you could build a sales team that does that exact job, and you could still make just as much money as some of these agencies are making. Does anyone ever tell you that you look like an action figure? I've never been told I look like an action figure. I think thank you. That's funny. Does the DMS 2.0 course include everything you're talking about in this Q&A, like creating a pre-qualification for clients, building legal contracts, where to find ideal freelancers, VAs, etc.? Living as youngs? Hell yeah. That's why we have the best program out there. So hang on one quick, I'll show you. You need to go to my website for sure. That's the first place you need to start. But we'll go there for you. You just click courses up here, build a digital marketing agency, and you can see the mentorship programs right here. DMS 2.0 is right here. And let me just show you everything that's in this, guys, because that's what people don't really get. Like, you don't even understand what you're getting because, you know, getting started information, great. Starting the business, licenses, banking, business plan, taxes, first year priorities and objectives, core marketing principles, all of the core marketing principles we think you need to get going. Facebook section. Look at that, 27 lessons on Facebook. Instagram. The great thing about Instagram is really all you have to learn is page management, because when we teach ads up here in this section in Facebook, you're learning Instagram ads at the same time. And then we go into stories, obviously, and stuff like that, the nuances of Instagram. We have Snapchat. You don't really need to know too much. Most of you are going after local businesses and services. You don't need Snapchat for those businesses. YouTube, Twitter, not really a big deal, especially for local businesses, so we don't really go too much into Twitter. Google, as far as Google My Business, that's really all you need to know as far as actual Google setup. We talk about PPC later. LinkedIn, which we had Anna McAfee come in. She is a LinkedIn guru. She's actually partnered with LinkedIn. She has a company that's partnered with LinkedIn. She knows more about LinkedIn than anybody else you could possibly meet as far as a business is concerned. So she comes in and talks about marketing for LinkedIn. We have social media marketing tools, building websites, email, PPC, SEO, and content marketing. Plus, landing pages, tools, templates, and third-party companies to work with. Sales, landing clients, pricing your services, finding VAs, finding VAs, building your workflows for your agency, setting up job postings, sites to use for hiring, when to start, positions to hire for, everything you're wanting to know. And then finally, you get your certificate, take some tests. We've got quizzes for pretty much every module. Like, you really can't get better than the program that we have, guys. We have the #1 marketing agency program on the market for a reason. And at the price point that it's at right now, you can't get better. We're actually in the process. Since we've added so much new content, we've done a bunch of updates on DMS 2.0, and not to mention, to remain competitive in the space, we are considering upping the price to about $1,000 to $2,000 for this program, right? We'll run discounts and do sales just like everybody else does, but we're considering raising the price because of the fact that we, after analyzing the competition and what they provide versus what we provide, there really isn't a comparison in my opinion, or at least we haven't found one that's as good as what we've put together. That being said, we are a premium product in our opinion, so we're strongly considering raising the price back up. Agency is going well in the cosmetic niche, dentists, surgeons, etc. Great answer to my last question. How much ad spend would I need to get a good advertisement out and get 5+ meetings set up? Well, Joel, like I just told you, I recommend a minimum of $1,500 per platform, and that's even if it's you. And what I would do is I would not try to do this yourself. If you are not a PPC expert, you need to have someone do it for you. Hire an expert to set up and run the campaigns. You can build your own ClickFunnels website or landing page to set appointments on, link it to Calendly, whatever. Offer some kind of offer, like you'll get a free photo shoot if you sign up with our services, or if you purchase our service package. That's what we're doing. We're doing free photo shoots if you purchase our service package. And we'll come out and do, your business, we'll do your employees, all of that we'll take photos of. And we'll even get some video as a bonus. If we really like the client and they're spending more than the average customer, we'll even do some video for them. But that's what I recommend. $1,500 minimum per month. Set up a strong landing page on ClickFunnels that is designed well, looks great, has a bunch of information, follows traditional sales strategies and techniques. Like, it has reviews on there, it has information about how it works, has your service offering, all of that on that page. And drive those to a form where they set an appointment. You pre-qualify them with the form, set the appointment using Calendly, and boom, you're really up and running. What percentage of ad spend do you take off the top for service charge? So we charge a flat rate up to $30,000 in ad spend. We have a flat rate structure, a tiered structure, and then over $30,000 we charge anywhere from 12.5 to 15%. Appreciate the Q&A and all you do, bro. Much appreciated, John. Happy to help, man. By the way, I got this weird agency insurance ad. A LLC covers everything, right? What? Got this weird agency. LLC covers your business, but you don't really need, I'll put it like this, you should get probably some kind of liability protection. And what this does is let's say you write an ad, or you hire someone to write an ad, and the person hates you for some reason. You made them mad and they hate you now. And so in the ad they write, let's just say that you're working with a doctor. This doctor is a complete asshole and you should never work with him. And then they publish the ad and it starts going out to people, and then the doctor sees it, right? They're going to be pissed about that, and they could potentially sue you for slander. That's where insurance comes in. If you don't have an office, you don't need, liability for the office, so you don't really need to worry about getting insurance for your office. If you don't have employees, you don't need to worry about getting getting insurance for any of those reasons. Really, it's to protect you from your clients in the beginning. So you don't really need insurance in the beginning, in my opinion. It's just not, as long as you manage it properly and don't let bad people work with you, and you don't take it out on your customers or send them emails where you're talking shit about them, you won't have any problems. Just play it smart. 100% signing up to the mentorship program. Thank you for the value. Joel, not a problem. This year's goal is 10K per month in profit with a full team. That's what I'm talking about. Well, actually, okay, so, all right, Jashawn, just so you know, I want you to, just so we can make this clear, I want this to be very clear. You said you want 10K in profit, right? So what I'm hearing is per month, you're going to need to be doing anywhere from about $75,000 to $100,000 in sales per month, meaning you have clients spending between 75 and 100 grand per month combined. All of those clients combined into 75 to 100 grand per month. That's what it would take to get to about a 10K profit margin per month and have a full team. Just to really narrow down your goal for you and paint the bigger picture for you. Hi, I just joined chat. Sorry if I ask questions that have already been answered. That's okay, Sensei. I just won't answer them again. I'm kidding. It depends on the question. If it is one that's more long-winded, I'll suggest that you come back and watch it, and I'll let you know that we answered it previously. But if it's something that it's not going to take that long to explain, I'll go ahead and talk about it again, only because, we only have a limited time, and we actually only have about 13 minutes left now. So I wouldn't want to take up any extra time for people who've been watching the whole time. In an environment which me and my business partner believe is holding us back, however, are still not earning enough money to comfortably move out, but do have the income to if I want. Would you recommend? Holy crap. So Joel, I would say take more time where you're at. Don't rush, and that's one thing we're still learning from is learning when not to rush a decision, because when you run a business, there are so many instances where you have to make decisions and close calls, and things that could be detrimental even potentially to your business. So I would say anytime you're looking at something and you tell yourself, well, it's going to put us in an uncomfortable spot, you probably should not do it, right? And not all the time, right? Because growing a business is uncomfortable. It's not always comfortable. If it was comfortable, again, everybody would do it because there is good money in growing a successful business. But, what I'm saying is financially uncomfortable. If it's super financially uncomfortable for you to make that decision, then you probably don't have the funds just yet to do what you're wanting to do, right? But if you can think about it and say, nah, go ahead, spend the money, don't care, don't even need to look. That's really when the confidence is there to go ahead and make a decision about something like that, where financially it's not a burden to you or your business. Highest ticket client, well, it depends because we're trying to land one right now. So I have the agency I used to work for in Jacksonville. I got in touch with one of my old managers, and their agency doesn't provide web services or SEO anymore. So we're trying to land this mattress client, which the great thing is she already has them on as a client at their agency, and they just let go of their web manager and their SEO person. So the cool thing is she's going to hand us that client. If we do well there, she's going to take us to their entire Houston network, which they probably have 25 sales reps there because it's like their fourth largest network out of, I think, their network of 75 news stations and agencies. So that means we would probably pull off the revenue from that agency alone would be probably anywhere between 5 to 10 mil per year. And again, if we do well with the Houston market, then she'll take me to Peter, which I even know Peter. I got to meet him a couple of times when I worked at Gannett. And Peter is the regional manager of the Southeast region and would take me into the Southeast region, which is like $50 million a year in potential revenue. It's just it's an insane thing to be looking at. So we're like insanely excited to start doing this. We're hoping we can get that contract with them. But that's the thing, guys. I've come to you guys with big contracts before. The biggest thing I would say is this, at least what I've learned about sales, is don't get yourself overly excited about something just because someone promises you the world. If you guys saw about, I would say 5 months ago, something like that, one of my friends that I know personally works for Microsoft. He was trying to get me a deal with Microsoft, but their VP of that department quit, right? Right when we were about to start presenting to them, the VP quit. Now they didn't have a decision maker for that department. What ended up happening after that is Brian didn't like working at Microsoft. He actually just got a new job at another company because he was traveling literally every week. He was traveling, gone for 4 days. And none of the upper management really cared, which was crazy to me. He was telling me all this stuff like about how, for example, Microsoft has all these VPs, but they are given revenue goals, right? They project revenue goals like any major corporation would, and then their job as a VP is to make sure that their department hits their revenue goals. Well, essentially what Brian told me was if they hit their revenue goals, work was done. It didn't matter if they hit their revenue goals in June. For the rest of the year, they weren't working anymore. They weren't going to do anything extra. Why? Because they hit their revenue goals. Now they're going to get their bonuses. Brian found this whole area of the Azure networking department where if they implemented what we were trying to produce for them, they would actually make a couple $100 million extra per year from that product. But they didn't want to do it. They didn't want to make a couple $100 million extra per year because they look at a couple $100 million like it's nothing. Where to us it's like, holy crap, that's bigger than life changing. That is generation changing, So it's just, that the point I'm trying to make is don't get yourself overly excited just because someone promises you something. Yes, remain positive. Yes, treat it as a small victory, but definitely don't hype yourself up too much. That's one thing I remember when I first started in sales, somebody would be like, yeah, that sounds really interesting. I'd love to talk to you. Half the time, they wouldn't even answer the phone when I called them because they don't really mean it. They're just trying to get you out of their face, or they're trying not to hurt your feelings because that's how people are, which is great. But I'm the kind of person where I'm just like, yo, if you don't want to talk to me, just tell me you don't want to talk to me because I'm going to stop talking to you too, and I'm going to quit wasting my time, right? I live in Albany, Georgia, and I think you're in ATL. I'm not too far. Do you ever do any functions or masterminds I could attend? So we're definitely going to be doing that this year. We haven't actually had a mastermind in person yet because planning those types of events takes a lot of time and effort. And especially since now we're doing a done with you agency and getting that off the ground. We're trying to do things with our own agency internally. There's just a lot going on. So I could definitely see it happening. The biggest thing is I got to find enough people in the area that are interested, and that's hard to do because it's easy to get 1 or 2 people on a call like this to say, yeah, I'm interested and I would come. But to get everybody together, you pretty much have to create this whole ad campaign, market it out to your entire audience, do an actual ad campaign to generate interest. You can't just put it out there and then it's done. You got all the people you need, and then you can set it up and create the training and book the place, all that. So it's a lot more difficult than you think. My buddy Rob Quinn actually does it, and I think that's what I'll probably end up doing is doing a combination with him since he already knows a lot about the process to creating a mastermind. He lives in Florida. He and I can just create one together, do it in North Florida or South Georgia, somewhere like Savannah or maybe Jacksonville, and we could put on something like that to where you guys could drive out for, a weekend or something. But everybody, that is it for tonight. My little nameplate got dusty. I gotta dust this thing off. Isn't this thing cool? Pretty sweet, right? Ted's fiance got this for me. But It was pretty dope. She came in for Christmas and she was like, "Here, I got you this," and it said Jordan Steen, serial entrepreneur. I was like, "Ooh, yay, I like this." All right, guys. So like I said, that is it for tonight. But make sure before you leave, make sure you go to serialentrepreneur.academy. Check out our mentorship program. It's only $10 a month, and you get to hop on live training calls and talk directly to me. You actually get to speak to me and everybody else who's on the call, and then I can look over your shoulder and do training with you. Go join our mentorship program. I guarantee you, you're going to love it. Outside of that, if you want us to build your agency with you and you want to get your agency making $10K a month in 2 months instead of 6 to 12 months, which is probably the average for people who really stick with it, then you should check out our Done With You agency program. We literally do everything with you as far as getting you set up and ready to go, so that way you're able to take on clients and then run campaigns and do it well. Plus, you get the digital marketing school for free when you buy that program. We have one spot left at $3,150, $3,150. Yes, that is right. It is expensive. But again, if you're making $10K a month in 2 months, what is $3,150? Nothing, because you're going to pull off $120K that year, right? That's, people have to understand. You have to understand the value in what you're investing in. You have to understand where you're investing your time, where you're investing your money. All of these things are important because it tells you basically, or I guess really not tells you, but it paves the roadmap or the pathway for you to get to where you want to be. But if you're interested in that program, again, there is a form in the description right below this video. Just hit the chat out. If you're on your mobile phone, exit out of this out of the live chat, and you go right into the description. And at the bottom of it, you will see a form where you can fill that out, and we will get back to you about building your agency with you. Again, if you want the marketing agency mentorship program, or if you want to check out DMS 2.0, which is a program you can buy and do it all yourself, that is over at serialentrepreneur.academy under the courses tab. Digital marketing school is $549, and the mentorship program is only $10 a month. So I'm going to get out of here for now, guys. I hope you guys all have a great rest of your evening and a great weekend. Thank you all. Massive action. We have one slot left. If you're ready to get in, all you got to do is sign up on that form down below. And we can set you up tonight, man. But anyways, that is it. I'm going to get out of here, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this video. What else? Anything else? Oh, what's going to happen here in a second once I shut this video off, if you are looking for the link to potentially get in our Done With You agency program, you might want to look at last week's live video. The form is also left in the description of that video, because once I end this, it's going to take about an hour or 2 hours for it to process and upload the video to YouTube. So if you're looking to get enrolled in that, or if you're looking to fill out the form and get going on that, you can check out last week's live stream. It'll be in the description there. But that is it for me tonight, guys. Why should you buy Dobbs? Because if you think you've learned a lot from that program, you haven't. Seriously, go look at my sales page for the Digital Marketing School 2.0 and see how many lessons there are. If you think that was a lot, there is, I think it's 12 to 15 times the amount of content and training inside the program. That free course that we put together, it is a great program, but it's not going to teach you everything you need, because there's not enough time in that free course for me to be able to teach you everything you need. I think there's like 40 hours or 50 hours of content, something like that, maybe even more inside DMS 2.0. Completely different thing. So I would definitely check it out, man. If you're wanting to get your agency on the right track, you have to check it out. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. Please do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button if this video or this training was helpful for you. It really helps my channel grow, and it helps other marketing agency owners just like yourself get the help that they need as well. Don't be selfish. Help them agency owners out. I'm going to get out of here, guys. Hope you all have a great week, and I will see you next time. Until then, Serial Entrepreneur out.